I once worked for a company that went through a crisis time. Every company goes through crisis. Your company's been through a crisis as well, has it not? Well, these guys, there was a shakeup at the top. They were in some cash trouble, sales were falling, and they were in a short-term crisis. But the business had great prospects, but just for a little while they were in crisis. So some of the team members who were quite self-interested thought, hey, this is a perfect time for me to re-up, change my contract, change my compensation structure, and take advantage of the situation. And some of them did that and some left, and it was kind of ugly. Well, one guy contacted me, and he was a team member, and he said, what do you think I should do in this situation? Because I could make more money and stuff like that. Well, I said to him, tell me, do you think that this is a place that you'd like to be in the future? Like, I'm not talking the next few months, but the next few years. Could you build a career at this place? And he said, yeah, I think I could. I said, do you trust and like the people? He said, yeah, I do. It's a good fit for you, yes. And I said, well, then how about not thinking like a team member, like short term and money now and stuff like that, but think like a team leader. Think about people, trust, relationships, and longer term, because the truth about profit is that profit comes from long-term relationships built on trust. That's where you actually make the money. So that's what he did. He came into C ownership and he said, look, I know we're in a tough time. I don't want anything changed in my compensation structure. He was in sales. I just want to put my nose to the grindstone and help us get through this crisis so that we can all emerge and be stronger and better. Well, when he left that room, owners went like, wow, we're so impressed. We love that guy. How do we hang on to that guy? And sure enough, in a few months, the crisis was past and things were on an upswing again. And then a very key seat in the business came available. And who do you think they looked to promote? Well, you know it. They said, we want that guy in leadership because we trust him. He's got great character. He cares about relationship. He cares long-term. He thinks like an owner. So they elevated him to that seat. Now fast forward into the future. Today, he is an owner of that business and he's one of the key decision makers and owners there. Why? Because he didn't think like a team member. He thought like a team leader. Now, many team members don't think like that. I understand. They don't just think about money. But in this case, they did. And he thought, no, I'm going to think about the long-term good of the organization. I'm going to think about how do I build long-term relationships based on trust. And he thought about where's the organization going to be in the future because I want to be part of a successful organization long-term. And he achieved that goal. That's how leaders think. You see, here's the truth. When you become a leader, you are in the people business. You're not in the manufacturing, construction, service, finance, food, whatever business that you do. That's not your business. Your business is now the people business. And 50% of your time should be spent thinking about your people, how they fit, what they should be doing, giving them feedback and mentorship. Imagine for a minute that you were the head coach of a professional sports team. What would take up your time to think about? Because there's lots of things for them to think about. Are they thinking about uniforms and the team logo and marketing and how will the uniforms be cleaned and what will, happen at the halftime show and how will our transportation and busing and hotels? Well, those are all things that need to be thought of course. But what takes their time? They're thinking, do I have the right players on the field? Are they playing the right positions? How do they interact with other players? They're thinking about the people, and that is what makes them successful. And as a leader, that's what you need to be thinking about as well. Your people, the people that are on the field playing the game. Here are the top 3 goals for leaders. Number 1, find the best possible players for your team. You want to start out with the right people. Number 2, tell them clearly what they need to do in order to win in their role. And number 3, let them know how they're doing. Coach them on a regular basis. Give them feedback. I wrote about this in my book. It's called The Power of People Skills, and you can read more about that there. But leadership, while not easy, isn't complicated. Get the right people. Let them know what they need to be doing and give them feedback and coaching so that they can be their very, very best. Let's review. Here's what you learned in this module. You learned whether leaders are born or made. You learned the difference between individual high performance, management, and leadership. And you learn the issues that leaders focus on versus the issues team members focus on.